You guys want to help me screw with a scammer? So this is actually a cautionary tale as well as a fun one. So I like to follow this guy. So Hawk, as he calls himself, is actually extremely intelligent. He's a member of the law community in the United States, and he's been going along with a lot of the things that have been happening, challenges to the Constitution, things like that. So I've been following him for a while now, and once in a while I'll throw a comment on one of his posts asking questions or, seeking clarification. So he answered me back and said, "That's a great question. Why don't you come over and meet me on Telegram and we'll talk about it there?" For those of you that don't know what it is, Telegram is a separate program, kind of like WhatsApp, where you can put in your phone number, but it keeps your information private so you can have chats with other people without them knowing your personal information. So I'm not naive to the ways of the internet. I'm aware that people get scammed quite a bit for quite a few different reasons. So I'm very cautious with my information. So even when I logged into the app for the first time, it was asking for access to my contacts. And I was like, no, I'm probably not going to use this app ever to talk to anybody else. So I'm just going to deny access. So he actually answers my question. We have a discussion discussing politics. I was discussing the Conservative Party policy declaration and asking him some questions in relation to some laws that had to do with Canada and the US. There were some Canada-US immigration laws that I had some questions about. So I asked him if we could set up a time to have a video chat because there was quite a few questions and I just really wanted to get his take on things. So he was like, sure. He's like, I can't do it today, but maybe tomorrow, we'll see how things go. And I said, oh, perfect. No problem. I said, we're in for an ice storm right now anyway, so I'm going to be going to bed nice and early. Thank goodness I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow. Haha, that kind of thing. So the next morning I wake up and I get an audio message from him and it's in Hawk's voice saying, hope you had a good sleep. Hope the freezing rain wasn't too bad. Hope you're safe. We'll talk to you later. So I thought, wow, well, that's nice of him. Okay, so I checked in when I got up and said, when did you want to do the call? Oh, we'll do it in a little bit. And I said, okay, fine. Well, I'm just having supper with the hubby. I said he's going in to work nights. So, we'll chat later after he leaves for work. So all of a sudden, the conversation starts to take a bit of a turn. He's asking me questions like, wow, you're so smart. I can't believe you put these things together. What are the things that you like to do in your own personal time? Let me get to know the person outside the politics. Now, I'm sure Hawk's a real nice guy in real life, but he doesn't, based on his videos, he's not really that kind of guy. At least he doesn't seem like that kind of guy to me to get all mushy and sentimental on the first conversation. So immediately I became suspicious and I thought, you know what? I'm going to keep this conversation very simple. I never give out my personal information. I never say where I'm from, anything like that. So I started to become suspicious. So I said to him, one of the concerns that I'm having right now in my life, I'm really struggling with is, getting the word out there about some of the things that I'm speaking about in my videos. And, it'd be great if you could like and share my video because I wanted to see if he would do it. So sure enough, I go into TikTok, no likes, no forwards, no shares, no reposts, no nothing. So then I go back over to the chat app and he's telling me, oh, well, now you want to use my popularity. I guess I can share your videos. I'll see if I can get to it later today. So in the meantime, I've gone back onto TikTok and actually blocked this account, which is not the actual account for Hawk Whack-A-Mole. Meanwhile, whoever this scammer is still over on Telegram waiting for me to answer him back. This just goes to show you how extremely desperate these scammers are to get people to do what they want. They are literally impersonating another human being using AI to recreate their voice to get you to share information about yourself, to make a friend out of you, because this guy knew I was married, but he wanted to make a friend out of you to learn things about you so that they can manipulate you to get the things that you need. So send this message to as many people as you can because people that are new to TikTok aren't going to know this kind of thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to play with this guy. Because I figure the more time he spends talking to me, the less time he's screwing over somebody else. So what should I do? What should I say? How do I keep him convinced that I'm still interested in what he's talking about without scaring him off? I don't want to scare him off. Please like and share this video. Share your comments. Let me know what you think I should do. Elbows up, Canada!